Hello,
Hello.
welcome to the. Do you have a name for this podcast yet, Reese?
Nah.
No, the podcast,
Yeah.
podcast, where we talk all things agency, coaching, digital marketing, and sales, and growth, and scaling, and everything fun. How you doing today, Reese?
Doing great. As always. How you doing
Yeah, man,
today,
I'm
Jacob?
good, man. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, you got a lovely, cute daughter.
Yeah, little one. She's 1 and 2 months almost now, and
Yeah.
she's in a phase where she does not like sleeping at night time. So
Yeah.
that's always good fun. But yeah, we're here, man. Getting through it, getting it done.
For sure, man.
Good stuff.
Operate purely on willpower, right?
Yeah, exactly. Willpower and I mean, I haven't had a coffee yet, but caffeine as well.
Yeah. Cool. So you were talking about networking just now.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because yeah, I've been going to a couple like kind of live events, and I spoke to a bunch of elite agency owners the other day, and we are doing like funnel breakdowns and
Yeah.
funnel reviews. And when I brought up my funnel, have you heard of Nils Clement, the founder? Have you heard of Perspective, the funnel board that we use?
Yeah.
They their founder and their CMO, like they've all built like seven-figure agencies and etc. But they decided to go the software route, which is makes sense. But basically, we're walking through like the YouTube and the digital dealership funnel,
Yeah.
like how good the thank you page, best practices that we're following, the copy for like qualification as well, like all that kind of stuff. And it was just really interesting to get different perspectives on what's working because I was speaking to a few guys out there who, by all intents and purposes, honestly don't do stuff as well as we do.
Yeah.
But they put more volume through their ad accounts, they spend more. Obviously, the ramp up process is interesting with sales reps, but their reps have gone through the ramp up process, and it's basically I just got this kind of vision where it's like I give it 3 months, and we're at like 80 to 100K a month
Yeah.
with each of our offers, and then obviously when we run our own ads as well, it's going to be there as well. So it's like super
Yeah.
interesting. But we're talking about LinkedIn and content, and yeah, the guy broke down like a strategy that he had for Twitter and LinkedIn, which was crushing, like absolutely crushing, which is posting like a
Yeah.
10-minute VSL, sharing something that works. So we could do it on the decision tree. We could do it on, eventually when we get some traction on this podcast, on our ad strategy, on the funnels, on the Gamma docs, pre-call email sequence, our ad strategy, our AI. Like there's so many stuff we can make, like kind of like 10-minute VSLs on,
Yeah.
and you just give away the whole source for free. And then essentially you put like below just a call to action. Hey, if you want to explore how this could work in your business, do X, Y, Z. And it's funny because a guy I used to close for ages ago, and he had no traffic back then. He had an offer where he was
Yeah.
basically doing freelance brand scaling before it was freelance brand scaling. And I was essentially, this is before I knew what was going on. I was doing cold calling to ecom brands in his list. It's terrible.
Mm.
Like I hate it. But basically, yeah, he was doing this Twitter strategy, and he closed 21K in one day from the strategy on LinkedIn specifically, and closed most people in the DM after they booked in with him. It's crazy. So that's definitely something we're going to be implementing.
DM close. No.
No sales score.
No call.
Yeah, because you give away the whole thing. Like it's not like there's no copywriting principle. Like, oh, this is the best XYZ. You just like this funnel. Like we could walk through the thank you page. This thank you page doubles our show rate, and pre-sales all our leads, so our close rate is 30%. I'm gonna walk through exactly XYZ, and because of the way that LinkedIn and Twitter works with their targeting, you will just find the qualified people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Qualified people who know what they're looking for don't need much selling, and if they're watching a 10-minute video on how to build a thank you page, the odds are that they're looking to increase their revenue. It's just a simple conversation at that point.
Yeah. It's crazy because talking about like DM closing, right? Like
Yeah.
just through messaging instead of doing a sales call.
Mm.
I was talking to one of our closers, Luke. He used to close for a fitness. I don't know if it's a fitness influencer, like he sells fitness or like mindset plus
Okay.
fitness, but it's like I guess like he posts content like Andrew Tate style,
Right.
like being a man, mindset,
Yeah. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of that kind of
Yeah.
style. And basically Luke used to just go into DMs and close them in the DMs selling like $7,500
Mm.
stuff,
Mm.
right? And if they say they're not ready and stuff, he would just push them away and just say, "Hey man, sounds like you're not ready. definitely it's okay. Like just leave it kind of thing. And then the offer owner just keeps nurturing through the
Yeah,
stories, the
yeah,
posts,
yeah.
and everything, and eventually people will come back, which is interesting to me. And I told him as well, like that makes sense. On one, if you're the best at it,
Mm,
if you have like a really solid, warm, engaged audience, and if you're like your content is just extreme,
yeah,
right? Like you get like all these like fans, like people who freaking love you,
yeah,
and people who hate you,
yeah,
and those kind of like audience you can do something like that.
yeah,
But it's interesting, like I feel like if you can close in the DMs, okay, more power to you.
yeah.
That's
100%.
even
I
better.
mean, I think the funny thing is the market is like it's starting to trend towards that direction of having DM closes and stuff like that because people don't want to be hard
Yeah,
sold. But I think the
yeah,
power, and obviously it's not something that we're not going to implement it straight away because we just don't need to. But the power I think comes in having the option to do both. Like
yeah,
if you can DM close, do it, of course, and if you can't, set them and then get them on the phone because there's nothing more powerful than a good sales conversation, creating a gap and providing a
true.
solution to someone. Because oftentimes the problem is with most people is that I think DM closing works for a certain type of prospect over just the offer only you have a certain type of prospect. So I'd imagine for,
Yeah,
like a women's fitness offer, DM closing probably wouldn't go so well. But for like a men's mindset thing where you're talking to A players who take themselves highly seriously, they want to take action, they believe themselves to be the best, they want to kind of represent themselves like that,
yeah,
then it's kind of like in line with their character to make a decision like that on the DMs. But a lot of people do need the extra
yeah,
push, they need the extra help to make the decision. And it's funny because on that note, on that topic, right, I think one thing that I see a lot of people get wrong, and there's some great marketers that we're working with right now, and they're operating for a very big offer. And when I spoke to them about how they train their sales team, essentially they train them on, I don't want to say greed principles, but the principles of like just get the close, whatever happens, right? And obviously, don't get it
yeah,
twisted. It's important to have that kind of perspective because you should be thinking you can close anyone. But I like to offer the perspective which is different. Like you are the pathway to change in someone's life. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I think on the last episode, I think it was yesterday, we spoke about like conviction and believing in your offer and case studies and all those things. Like if you have conviction and you know someone is financially qualified and they have a gap, like I think you're selfish to not get them closed rather than it being like, yeah, let's try and push them.
100%.
It's more like that kind of shift in perspective. It's like you're selfish to not give them the help they need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday I did a call review for one of the offers that we manage,
Mm-hmm.
and that guy in the call, he's been thinking about doing fitness coaching
Mm.
since 2016, bro.
Damn.
He hasn't done anything. And I'm like, bro, you don't close this guy, he's gonna keep staying the same, do the same
Yeah.
thing. He's gonna wait for another 10
Yeah.
years and he's never gonna make it happen.
Mm.
That's where a closer is important, right? The role of the closer is to actually challenge them and lead them into making a decision because some people need that.
Yeah. I think there's like you're so right, and there's almost like three. When I think about it, just based off what you said, there's three unspoken truths of closing. Right? It's that if people wanted it, they would buy it already. So
Yeah,
this is the DM closing. It would just be like, we put a call to action out, OTO out, and they're like, yeah, man, send me the payment link.
yeah,
If they, for some people, for most people, however, they do need a loving, soft push to get them over the line. But then the thing that we're really
yeah,
fighting against more than anything else in most closing conversations is not trust, because nothing in life is ever guaranteed. So even though you have a guarantee, it doesn't mean that someone's going to instantly win because you have it. If I guarantee someone $100,000 revenue and they never shoot the ads,
yeah. It's like buying an iPhone and not using it.
yeah,
Like
exactly,
you can't really do anything about it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like the reality of a closing. I've been watching. Have you seen Yaden Green's stories recently and his
No.
Instagram reels? He's a closer that was part of Closer Incubator when we were doing that offer as well.
Yeah.
He's been posting about like scaling to 10K a month as a insurance sales rep, right? Because he kind of pivoted to insurance sales. And
Yeah.
it's just interesting because insurance sales is the definition of providing people, and obviously, look, let's not get into United Healthcare and kind of the healthcare stuff and the controversies there, but it is on paper the definition of providing people a solution to a problem that they need. And unfortunately, the problem is with
Yeah.
most biz op, fitness, mental health. and it's not the same with B2B, but it can be, is that people don't need the solutions. They don't need them because people have survived. For example, Sandra Bullock, obviously that's not who I'm thinking about, but Sandra, she survived her whole life being obese, never taking action on her fitness, never increasing her self-esteem, never doing that stuff. So she could live the rest of her life existing that way as well. There is no intimate need for that to be the case. But what a closer's job is to do is to provide that solution and essentially bridge that gap and make it easy for her to take action. And it's just
Yeah.
interesting because based on what you said, like when you talk to those leads where it's like, I haven't been doing this for 7 years, I've been thinking about it. For me, if I leave a call like that without a close one, I feel disappointed in myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if I know what I'm doing helps. And the offer that Luke is on, bro, 100 billion views generated with this system.
Yeah. So it's gonna change their
Yeah,
lives, right?
yeah.
What the offer owner is providing, and yeah, it's crazy. I saw this reel by he
Mm,
was like number one in NEPQ,
okay.
Jeremy Miner's offer, and it's like it's so good. He's like whenever he can't close that person and he tried hard and he's just like I can't do anything about this person,
Mm,
he would actually apologize to that prospect.
mm,
He'd be like, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I can't help you to get over the line so you can make the change that you need,
yeah.
but in the future if you need any help, like I'm happy." Like that kind of mindset,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
feel sorry for yourself for not and sorry for them for not being able to guide them and lead them
Yeah,
to taking action.
yeah. And that's why I think you're so right. And I often talk about like closing being an emotional thing.
Mm.
Like I personally think out of all the parts of the business, the most emotional I think the most emotionally charged job you can have is being a sales rep. Like
Yeah.
by far, bro. I remember when I was closing for the mortgage offer, and this is B2B. Tell me why I'm having conversations about someone's like traumatic divorce and how they lost everything and they need to rebuild from scratch. It's like, whoa. When I
Yeah.
run ads, I'm not dealing with that. When I'm okay, I
Yeah.
guess you could say a CSM is close-ish, but that's only if people aren't getting results. But man, as a sales rep, it's like it's emotionally charged. So I think it's and this is I guess a word of advice for like offer owners out there who have a sales team. It's like it's your responsibility to provide those case studies, to provide that conviction, and to set the culture that it's the job of the closer to. It's almost like to be a therapist and a strategist at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like to hear them out, understand them, and also provide the solution. And if you really care, one thing, there's some top guys. One person I want to get on here talk to is one time is Toko because he's like for me probably the best salesperson I've ever worked with ever in my life.
Yeah.
But like I would like to hear his perspective on kind of that kind of like that intimacy between sales and like changing lives and stuff because I know that for me anyway when I'm selling like it's deeper than just like exchanging cash for products and services. Oftentimes, especially in the high ticket space, like you are solving a deep problem for people. When you get into selling to like rich demographics, like investment or life insurance or whole life insurance services or whatever, fund management, whatever it might be, then it becomes more kind of like logistical, like what's the ROI? And I've done both, right? I've sold like property investments to foreign investors. It's just there is no emotion. It's like what are the numbers? What's the ROI? What's the down payment? Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. But then when you're kind of selling anywhere from like a 2.5K to like a 20K service, 80% of the time it's like just emotion and like 20% logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's and I like to share this story a lot, but like the reason why I became a closer was because I've been close multiple times
Mm-hmm.
in the past, and they changed my life.
Mm.
The first time someone closed me, it was a high ticket trainer by King Keto. The closer was Brian Ryder or something, I can't remember.
Okay.
But at that time, it was like during COVID. Lockdown just happened,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was in this 9 to 5 data analyst job, hated it,
Mm.
working with like people who I have no common interest with.
Yeah.
Just 9 to 5, and yeah, I just hated it. So, got back home, saw an ad from Kinkido,
Mm.
the high ticket trainer. I was like, I like fitness. I train a couple people
Mm.
at the gym,
Mm.
right? And why not give this a shot? Book a call. I booked a call. It was a two call close, by the way. First call, he was just going deep in all
Right,
the
okay.
discovery and all that. Yeah,
Interesting.
and then the second call, he asked me to watch a video. The video is just mostly case studies and stuff.
Mm,
Hopped on, and I'm originally from Malaysia, right? I lived in the States. I grew up in the States,
mm,
but I spent my teenage years in Malaysia. My parents moved back to Malaysia, and I was earning in Malaysian ringgit. That was like I was earning 3,600. That's like $700 to $800 a month.
right.
And I just started the job less than a year. And when that happened, I saw the ad. It was like 5,800 USD.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I don't even have this money. Never invested in myself, nothing, right?
Mm,
I didn't want to tell my parents because obviously it's going to be a no,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
applied for a credit card. I had to do a payment plan because even with my credit card limit,
Yeah.
I couldn't pay that 5,800.
Right.
So I did a payment plan. I can't remember what the payment plan was, and I made money. I made more than I invested, and I was like, holy shit, that guy changed my life.
Mm,
Because like if I were to just back out, he didn't ask me those tough questions. I don't know. I'll probably be in a 9 to 5 right now
yeah.
because that
Yeah.
opened
It's
up
so
doors,
real.
yeah, for me getting into online.
Yeah.
And then I went to another call because I kind of want to pivot. I don't want to become a fitness trainer.
Mm,
I don't want to, go to the gym all day and then talk about gym and all that kind of
mm,
stuff.
mm.
So I was like, hey, let's try this sun ad, closer ad. It's funny because like they were like, hey, we can get you a closing job. So me coming onto the call, I thought it was an interview.
Yeah.
It's actually a sales call,
Yeah.
right? And it was this guy, Gentry Chittister, Tanner's brother,
Right.
for Elite Closer. Man, that guy changed my life. He was like, what can you do? Like, how much can you pay? He stayed with me for like an hour and a half,
Mm,
trying to get me over the line. I was again on a payment plan and small payment plan, stretch out longer, and that honestly just changed my life completely. So like that's why I'm like, hey, closers changed my
yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we have a big responsibility to change these people's
Yeah.
lives, and yeah. And when I start closing for fitness, it's just funny. It's like
Full
going back
circle.
to
Yeah.
fitness,
Yeah.
anyways. Yeah, a full circle, and that's just what I'm thinking. I'm like, hey, it's a $4,500 program for 6 months,
Hmm.
but you're gonna be able to play with your kids. You're gonna feel confident and everything. Like I had to push them
Yeah.
because I know like it's gonna change their
Yeah.
lives.
That's beautiful,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
So
It's
let me ask you this, bro, because I
yeah,
wanna go deeper on that. Like, how do you? Because you've been through the you've been through the progression, right? You went from high ticket offer buyer, right? And it's funny because I
yeah,
went through that as well when I bought Samuel Lee's program. And the way that I bought
yeah,
it is I got a loan from my auntie. She lent me £3,000 to buy. It's just it's interesting how you get into this space and how you get started. But same thing. So you bought the program, you became a fitness coach, made some money there. Wanted to become a closer, made some money there, and now you are the CSO COO of AdSet Info Launch, right? So you run sales teams, you manage sales operations, ramp up salespeople. How do you translate? Because what you've said there really is like in this high ticket space. I would imagine most people, anyone who watches this, is gonna be in a similar life journey to us. I can't imagine this will reach like general population 9 to 5. I can imagine it'll be agency owner, coach, consultant, someone like that. So how do you
yeah,
translate that? Because that's what what you've just explained is kind of like the human experience, go like becoming who you want to be in the high ticket space or in the online space. Like, how do you convert that sort of like emotional depth to sales training? Because, and I'll give context so you can give a great answer. Because we train a lot on sales process, we train on scripts, we train on objections, overturns,
yeah.
etc. But what you've just spoken about, that's like unspoken. You can't train that. So
Mm.
how do you train that? If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, whenever I hire people, I learned this from Elon Musk.
Okay.
His main question is like, what was the biggest problem that you solved in your life,
Mm.
right? From adversity, because I always tell the closers like, personal story is the best thing ever,
Mm.
and just you being on the other side, so you experience what your prospect is experiencing,
Mm.
is like the most important thing ever. So I share my story to the closers
Mm.
all the time. So like closers or prospects as well, right? Whenever I try to close them.
Yeah.
And I always tell them like, hey man, like you need to do tough things in your life. You need to invest in yourself. You need to have all these stories and experiences yourself,
Mm.
so that way you understand what it's like being on the other side,
Yeah.
and you can lead the prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell them like kind of just go back and think about times where you invested in yourself, think about like your own personal stories, and just sit through that, like understand what you felt at that moment and all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, like the script, the skills, yeah, that's all important, right? But personal stories, like sharing experiences,
Mm.
like I've closed people just because they're too scared, and I just tell them like, "Hey man, can I share a story?"
Yeah.
And I just share my story, and then they're like, "Damn, I'm speaking to someone
Mm.
who had who went through that same position that I'm in right now,
Mm.
and he's made it, right?
Yeah.
And he got a lot from it." So that actually helps a lot, especially for like fitness offers, for biz op offers,
Yeah.
that kind of offers, because there's a lot of like fear when it comes to that,
You know,
because people have
you know
most people never invested
in themselves.
anything big like that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's something that Toko said ages and ages ago, which I find so interesting. Below 10 mil a year, you're still talking, it's still biz up. It's still B2C. Like,
yeah,
until a business is doing like 10 mil a year, and then it's like, okay, we're talking operations and scale and, orders of magnitude of change. You're like, okay, can we take it from 10 mil to 12 mil? For most,
yeah,
if we're talking to a coach or an agency owner who's doing 10K a month and they want to get to 50, that's exactly the same as a process. Well, I mean, obviously the process is different, but it's exactly the same as a transformation going from I've never done something to making 10. So it is
yeah,
interesting because I just mentioned that because you said, like, especially in biz up and kind of fitness, and I would go as far as say that I think the same thing goes for all of us. So like the people who I've closed for our offer, I would,
yeah,
when I think back through all of the calls that I've had, and this is the funny part of it, where it's like the middle ground of all this comes to fruition, right? I believe in our offer ultimately beyond a shadow of a doubt because we've delivered incredible results time and time again. A.
yeah,
B, I've literally been in the shoes of like, how do we get from A to B? How do we go from where we're at right now to this dream situation? Right, B, and C, I've made a bet on myself multiple times. Man, you want to talk about making a bet on yourself? Hey, that's a conversation for a different time, but yeah, made bets on myself. When I
yeah,
think about conversations with the people that we've closed and the way that we've done business with people so far, I think it goes the same, bro, and that's complete B2B. Like, there is no, as I said, I think below 10 mil it's still B2C to a certain degree, but super emotionally charged conversations, like personal
yeah,
relationship building. Like, I'd say every single client we have, I class them as a friend, which is
100%. They
like,
love us, bro.
I know, and I love them, bro.
Yeah,
No joke. Like, every one of them is a joy to be around. One thing that I've always thought about is as we scale up and scale up and scale up, I never want to lose that.
mm,
I watched a video Alex Moses was talking about. I don't know if it's a friend of him or someone that he heard of. He used to send like handwritten postcards to everyone who bought their product, and he never
yeah,
stopped doing that. He hired a team to do it. He tried to automate, it didn't really work, and he never stopped doing that. So that personal touch is something I'm never willing to sacrifice, regardless of where the business model ends up. Whether it's a fund, whether we're buying and selling leads at scale, whether we acquire businesses, I couldn't care less. Like, that is not something we're ever gonna stop doing, bro. Ever. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Mm.
You always say, right? Like we are an extension of their
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
That's how we should treat the business and them as well, the offer
100%.
owners, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the reality is when you become someone's agency owner or sorry, when you become someone's media buyer or running their sales team, like you are an extension of their business. I think one sad thing about the state of kind of the marketing agency consulting XYZ is it's people have made it so transactional. It's like, how much money can I squeeze out of this person, and do the least in
Yeah,
return, if that makes sense. How many clauses can I put on the guarantee that makes it really hard for them to claim it back? And obviously, don't get it twisted. There's business principles you have to follow. You have to make sure that revenue leads over everything. Of course, your bottom line is the most important. It's the lifeblood of your business. Okay. However, I think it's really interesting because as times progress, we've got into more and more self-serving, service-based businesses. And that's funny to me
yeah,
thinking about it. Like, self-serving, service-based businesses. I remember when the saying was, "The customer's always right."
yeah,
You know what I mean? Imagine if you went to a hotel and the room was dirty, and the person was like, "Yeah, yes, look, man, look, in your contract says this, this, and this. I can't help you." You'd be like, what? Like, you go to a hotel and the room's dirty, you expect them to, oh, no worries, Mr. Motar. I'm going to bring you a complimentary glass of champagne and we're going to get you moved up to this sort of suite. Can't wait to get you sorted. Hope that's okay with you. That's what you expect. Whereas now in the agency consulting coaching space, people just be like, yeah, man, let me do the bare minimum. And what I've found, and this is the big difference between the people who win with us and the people who don't get as many great results. The people who care about their clients tend to make more money.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Ain't it interesting? Like, think Sahel. He scaled the quick, like, obviously, wisdom speaks, etc. Okay, big wins, very quick, but he's a very big brand. It's kind of different, right? If you think Sahel, man, he was flying from his dealership in Canada to other dealerships in the US or Canada to just go do one-to-one consulting with the people who paid him. Bro, that is a crazy
Yeah,
level of commitment. I just wish you would have
yeah,
documented it more, man. Because if you would have documented that and put that on YouTube, bro, oh my gosh, the amount of retargeting I would have done with that. Oh my goodness.
yeah, yeah. No, like people who care, like they care about their clients as much as they care about the revenue of the business.
Mm,
It's like they're always gonna win long term.
yeah,
Like it's just how it is.
yeah. Because you
Yeah,
can't continue to draw from a cup without giving back into it. It
yeah,
just doesn't work that way, and I think people get that twisted. Like everybody is concerned about how can I scale to $1 million a month, and it's to me, it's like how can I be worth $1 million a month to the market? Do
yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, how can I
And,
generate
and
$10 million worth of change a month to take 10%? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I heard a quote. I can't remember exactly what it's like, but says basically like your value is like based on the direct correlation of the impact that you
Yeah,
make,
Myron
right?
Golden, bro. Myron Golden, black dude with a beard, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. It's it's true. Like you solve bigger problems,
You,
you make more
you make
money,
more
you
money.
help more people, you make more money.
Yeah,
You bring more joy to people, right? Like think about it. Like even the unhealthiest thing, like food, like chocolate brands,
yeah,
they bring joy to people. They bring something positive
yeah.
out of their lives.
Cadbury's printing, bro.
So yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, as much as like with us especially, we want to grow the business and everything, right? Remember that conversation we had like about hiring more CSMs and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're like, that's probably the toughest hire because they're gonna be talking to the clients and yeah, the results and everything is good, but we want the clients to actually have a good relationship
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
CSMs, right?
I don't know how we. I almost feel like I want to hire like a therapist and train them up to be a CSM. Get like,
Yeah.
I don't know, get a pastor or something and bring them on board as a CSM, bro. That would probably be the best version of client relationship we could
Yeah,
build. But yeah, it's so
yeah,
interesting. So I guess to kind of like summarize what we spoke about, because it is all kind of related, is whether you're a sales rep, whether you're an offer owner, whether you're a marketer, CSM, don't be selfish. Be selfless and see what comes back.
yeah,
Again, I was doing a little mentorship last year with a kid who wanted to start an agency, and he was 16, and he was like, I want it 100K a month by the end of the year. And I said, right, okay. How? Why? What's the goal? It's like, I just want to get this. And I remember explaining to him, it's like, bro, you'll make 100K a month if you are worth $1 million a month. You'll make 100K a month if you're worth $200K a month. Depending on
yeah,
how aggressive you want to be with your pricing, that's up to you, bro. If you're making people more than what you charge them, then I think that's fair. But it is so interesting. Like, as we continue to grow and scale and build out our acquisition systems and our delivery systems, and we start to go into the agency exit model and start to buy and sell agencies, not just scale them, and B2B companies as well. The one thing that I can't wait to have as a part of that is that, like, we get to change so many lives at scale. Does that make sense? And we get to,
yeah,
through our clients, now we facilitate change that helps people. They got the
yeah,
first person who ever bought the Sahel's offer, right? I think he just did 10K in commissions with his digital dealership business, I think last month.
yeah,
And he was working a 9 to 5 just before he joined. That's
yeah.
beautiful, bro. Like,
It's life changing.
life changes. And that's the
Yeah,
stuff that people always be talking about. Oh, sales technique and offer this and funnel hack and, bro, just change lives and you'll make more money.
yeah, true, true.
But yeah. How would you
Cool, man. Yeah.
what would your advice be to
What was
the
that?
aspiring closer who's watching right now?
I, I would say first thing is it's tough.
Mm,
Don't just look at the coaches you see online, like, hey, make 10K per month and blah 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 blah. You have to really get good at it first. And the first phase is like always tough. You're gonna deal with a lot of rejections. You're gonna feel like you're not progressing.
mm,
Like you're gonna go into this new world of like, what the hell am I learning?
yeah, yeah.
So just like, yeah, aim for what you want to make. That's the first thing for sure. But also like just stick through the process instead of just focusing on the numbers.
Mm,
And most importantly, like just like kind of reverse engineer everything. Okay, 10K, I want to make 10K per month, right? How many people do I have to help if I'm selling this offer, like a fitness offer,
mm,
right? And then just go from there and then just go by numbers and then just work towards that. And ultimately, like just show up every single call. And this is something not just for the prospect, but for you as well. If you show up to a call and you're like, I'm going to close this person and that's it, you're gonna be drained. Whether you close them or you don't close them, you take three, four, five calls a day,
mm,
you're gonna be drained by just having that mindset,
mm,
right? Whereas if you show up to the call and be like, hey, I'm just gonna help this person. If I close, win for everyone, with for me, for the prospect. If I don't, if I can at least change their perspective and at least they hop off the call, making some sort of changes in their life for the better, whether it's with your offer or with other offer,
mm,
that's a win. Like with that kind of mind frame, you can last long in this industry.
yeah.
Because I see people like closers come and go
Burnout.
because they give up early and they get burned out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a real
Because
game,
it's a
bro.
zero sum game.
Yeah.
It's a zero sum game. Every single month you start back at zero.
Zero. Yeah.
Like you make 10K this month, next month, okay, 1st of July, you're back at zero.
Yeah.
So like that's why this is one thing that I like doing.
Mm,
I like to follow up with people even after I close them.
mm,
Like when I was doing the fitness offer, right? They don't have any like back end upselling and stuff. They can continue with the program,
mm.
but that's like for the coach to like sell the prospect on,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
But I still talk to people. Like if they're struggling with anything, I'll make sure they get the support. I'll make sure they do all of that stuff,
Mm,
and I always make sure I ask them how they're doing this at the program,
mm.
how are they progressing. Like I got people messaging me back and say like, "Hey, thank you, like for getting me in and all that kind of stuff," and I'm like, "That's so good."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I would rather take that than an additional sale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're a different breed of salesperson, bro. Most of these guys, especially when we go through the hiring process and talk to new reps, it's like everybody is only concerned about them. And even when I think about like our top rep, like Jad loves the car industry, bro. He just loves it, and that's why
Yeah.
he's the best right now.
Yeah. He's like, bro, I feel like I want to buy it.
Yeah,
He's like, I feel like I want to do this myself, right?
yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of thing that's the kind of like my mind frame that you need when it comes to like closing for an offer,
Mm,
for sure.
yeah. 100. I think that's been hopefully a really
Yeah, man, we can
eye-opening.
talk for hours, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, hopefully you guys watching get some insight on this video. We're gonna talk about lots of things, just sharing everything.
yeah.
And the goal with all of this stuff, right? Like just ultimately I think like posting this podcast and stuff like that, yeah, whoever, we connect with in the future, we might ended up working together and stuff. But yeah, ultimately it's just, getting the best talents
Mm,
for us
mm,
and also networking with people. Hopefully one day, just like people like Ryan Clog,
mm,
the big names in the industry, like just connecting with other people in the online space.
mm.
That's kind of like the goal with all of this.
Yeah, I hear that. I want to make more money though, bro. Personally.
100%. That's like that comes with it, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you you make you know more people, you're gonna make more money.
Of course. Yeah, man. Cool. Well, I think that's been an eye-opening session, bro. I think what we should do is we should be asking for questions from people who watch if there's anything that they want us to cover in terms of what's working, what's not working, what we're doing to change certain things. But yeah,
Yep.
man, great episode, and I guess we'll see everyone tomorrow.
Yep. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Peace.